This is our first week of the competitive phase, which is the last phase of the training year. The competitive phase lasts all the way to the state meet, which is 5 weeks. And the objective is basically to allow everyone to show their best performance. So if adaptation takes 2 to 4 weeks, okay, basically in that last 2 to 4 week window, so right now we're still going to do a little bit like a crossover between the two types of training, but if 2 to 4 weeks is for adaptation, then really no more adaptation is going to happen in the last 2 to 4 weeks of the training year, right? All we can really do at that point is allow the fatigue to fall off of you by keeping those systems where they are, by holding serve. And that's why the workouts are going to really change now. And it's also why the last 4 to 5 weeks, the pre-comp phase, were the hardest training we've done all year, right? Because it's the last opportunity to get you better. And now the whole idea is the peaking window is just to allow all the fatigue to fall off of you, okay? So the volume is still relatively high at 50 miles this week, okay? And our workout today is to develop our overall tolerance to the acid buildup. So we've been doing those ones as we've been going more and more and more, and we've been increasing the rest. Today we're just going to continue doing that when we do special endurance 2. If you could, Alex, go to the energy continuum. Okay. As a reminder, special endurance 2 is right here. Basically, this is 800 meter pace. We're doing it for 60 seconds. Special endurance 1 is like 400 meter pace. Fly 30s are out here. 2 mile pace, mile pace, 5K pace, all the way down. Okay, so just so you have an idea of where the training intensity is today. We can go back to the objective here for today. We're going to be doing 60 seconds barefoot times 4 to 5. It's 7 total miles. We're going to be at Hunter's Green at 4:30. Our normal warm-ups, 4 to 5 of these 60-second bursts. And then we're going to be doing 7 to 8 minutes in between. So the idea being, again, we're looking for max performance, and we're going to see a lot of these things as we do it. Like, for example, when we do the repetition running for VO2 max on Thursday, it's going to be twice the normal rest. So if work was normally, say, like we're going to be doing 3 times 1200, say 4 minutes, you guys would be getting 8 minutes rest. The idea being is we're just maintaining what we have and we're priming those systems. We're not really getting all that much better at this point. So this is just kind of simulating all of that. Okay? So that is for today's workout for the top 7. Those kids that I told you are locked in. They're running at the district meet no matter what. That is from skip on up. Okay? Everybody else, you're going to be doing a recovery run of 30 minutes. Okay, to get you ready for tomorrow.
Dang.
Okay?
Wait, what?
You are chilling today.
Brady just totally spaced out.
Wait.
JV is doing a recovery run of 30 minutes today to get ready for tomorrow. Because JV, run like it's your last race because it could be. Only the 8, 9, and 10 will be running at districts after that. So you guys are running for competing at the district meet. Everybody else can continue training with us. All right, guys, relax. It's not that big of a deal. Everybody else is going to continue to train if you'd like to, so that your break can be similar to everybody else. But that's when it's top 10 at districts, and then regions, I only keep the top 8. And then states is, it's only 7 run, but the top 8 continue to do everything, and that can kind of change up as the week goes on. Okay? So that's what's going on with our workout here today. I do want to pay close attention to our VO2 max pace because I think we kind of discovered something. Can you zoom in on that just a little bit? All we need to really see is like this, yeah. Okay, so talking to some of the guys, like for example, I think it was Thomas and Manny, and some of you guys were saying that 60-minute run 2 days before the FSU meet, you guys think that it hurts you a little bit, and which to me made no sense when we were cooling down. So I said, well, it's a recovery run. That should never hurt you. Then I start remembering some of the times that you guys were reporting back, and these were not the times that you were telling me you were running, right? Like for example, Thomas last week, he was supposed to be running, and this was, he actually, no, he stayed the same, 7:25. He had been consistently running 7:15. Okay, Jared, supposed to be running 7:02. You've been consistently telling me like 6:50. Jackson, fairly similarly. You came down this week 2 seconds, so this changed, but I think you were supposed to be 7:35, and you've been running like 7:25. And as I remember, a lot of you guys, Skip was probably one of the worst culprits of this, running like 7 or 8:10 or something like that. That is not going to feel like it's doing anything in the workout. We all know you can run faster than these paces. The idea being is if you do it for a long period of time, it zaps your glycogen storage, your stored glucose, which you need to run fast, that fuel source. A little more muscle trauma. Again, this is the pace that scientifically gives you the all the aerobic benefits we're looking for on these days, right? Bigger heart, more capillaries, all the things we talked about earlier on in the training year. And because they're a recovery run, they allow you to recover from like the workout we're doing today.
Let's say it depends, like my pace is 7:31. If I was to run at 7:20, would I just get the same aerobic benefits with this more stress, or would I like get less benefit?
It depends on what you're doing. Are you running for the same amount of time?
Yeah, same time.
Then you're probably getting the same benefit to your cardiovascular system, like the capillaries, the mitochondria, all that, because you're not developing acid. But you're also tapping into, remember, this is the pace in which your body uses fat and stored carbohydrates or glycogen evenly. You start running faster than that, your body can't supply the energy with fat as the fuel source. Anybody ever run on a treadmill and you see like the training zones and it's like fat burning is like way, way lower than like aerobic or any of the other things? The reason being is fat is great at storing fuel. But because it's such a complex molecule, if anybody's seen that in biology, it's a lot, it's the triglycerides and all these, it's a really complex storage system. Your body can't use it when you're doing things fast. Things like you're doing right now is great for using fat, just very low intensity stuff. Your body's using pretty much just fat here. When you start going fast, it has to use carbohydrates. That is fast fuel. Your brain only uses carbohydrates as fuel. Think about how quickly your brain does things. It has to use it, okay? So, yes, you would get the same advantage, Jackson, to your cardiovascular system, but there's a trade-off there. You're hurting your glycogen stores. And if I come back, so we do, say, a recovery run yesterday. We come back today. If we've now burned more glycogen because you ran, say, 10 seconds too fast, and instead of coming in at 95% stored glucose glycogen today, you're at 70%, and now I ask these fast 60 seconds out of you, well, now you've plummeted. And then tomorrow, when we do a tempo run, you're not going to be where you should be, which is close back to 100. You know what I mean? It's just... So, yes, you get some of the benefits, but there's other things involved here. As a reminder, yes, these should be an intensity that you can replicate for all the reps, okay? Which is pretty fast, okay? So make sure that you are staying on top of it. You should feel completely winded and gassed by the end of each rep when you're doing this, okay? So make sure that is the case. You might feel okay after the first one, but by the third one, it really should be screaming at you, just, you know, pretty much the way that you would feel at the end of a cross-country race when you're trying to go and you've got that kind of acid. Although, a lot of you guys said that the acid was not getting you at the end of the race, right? You just felt overall fatigue, but not burning, right?
Yeah, it was more breathing.
It was a lot of fatigue here.
Okay.
In the lungs.
A lot of fatigue here.
Just from like the going up the hill.
Well, that's probably has a lot to do also with the dryness of the course too, right?
Yeah, it was actually really dry out there.
Very dusty. Look at that body. I worked on race. Runner set. Go. Stop! Woo! Think about how far you got versus the last one. We added about 50 meters. Run. How'd it feel? Go! Go. Oh my God. That one hurt by far the worst. Let's move. All right, we just completed our Special Endurance 2 workout. It was a little bit more intense. We went all the way up to 8 minutes on the rest ×4, barefoot in this field right here. Jackson, first off you, and then Manny on the right. Tell me how you guys think it went.
I think it went pretty well today. Thomas and Jared totally killed it. They were doing awesome.
Manny?
Everybody was just getting farther and farther as we gradually went through the workout, so it was a good day, you know, and it was a pretty fast workout, and we went fast like the workout, so we tried our best.
Compare this to the first couple times we did this. How much easier does it feel even though we're going that much faster?
I mean, it felt easier. Like, my legs definitely didn't hurt as bad. The breathing was easier. It was still hard though.
We're now in that last little bit of the season. How do you guys feel? We just completed our trip to the state meet course. How do you guys feel as we've got county championships tomorrow and then districts the week after?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think we're gonna have a good showing in the postseason. I know we've had our struggles, but I think it's all gonna come together.
Yeah, I feel like the boys and our coaching staff is ready to prepare us to compete and do our best in this postseason.
Awesome. Like and subscribe if you guys find this helpful.
I am the outro.